President. Right, the Honorable Speaker of Rivers State House of Assembly, Honorable Martin Amehule, the Deputy Speaker, principal officers, other members of the House, the Clerk of the House, the Secretary of the State Government, Commissioner for Finance, and other State Executive Council members that are here, the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Information, and the Accountant General, other guests that are here, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Speaker, it is my pleasure to present the 2026 Rivers State Appropriation Bill to the honorable members of the Rivers State House of Assembly for your consideration and passage into law. As we all know, despite the challenges, the machineries of governance has continued to function in our dear state, and we have made significant progress in our priority areas of road infrastructures, human capital development, as well as in the security of life and properties. Most significantly, our state has remained fiscally stable thanks to our commitment to fiscal responsibility, prudence, and accountability in managing public funds. We do not tolerate mismanagement at any level and have utilized public funds to provide services, attract investment, create jobs, and offer social economic opportunities for our people. Honorable Speaker, with this introductory remark, I proceed to present the highlights of the 2026 draft budget. 2026 budget. The budget, 2026 budget is tagged budget of resilience for growth and development. It is the result of considerable public participation in a shared vision for building an economically resilient, thriving, and prosperous River State. The total revenue projection. The total projected revenue for River State for the year 2026 fiscal year is 1,348,234,475 naira 76 kobo. This means our proposed total operating revenue for 2026 is projected to increase by 24.49% over the 2025 adjusted budgeted projection due to possible increase in returns from FAC, derivative fund, and internal generated revenue as the national economic outlook continues to show positive growth. The details of the 2026 budget assumptions and fiscal projections are outlined in the medium-term expenditure framework 2026 to 2028, which the House has already considered. Revenue source. The revenue source are as follows. We are projecting internally generated revenue at 487 billion 609 million 336,496 naira 97 kobo. Our projection for FAC allocation, including other sources from FAC, we're projecting 936 billion, 52 million, 408,964 naira, 24 kobo. Our opening and closing balance before the year was 48 billion, 105 million, 601,105 naira, 95 kobo. Capital receipts, including domestic loan, grants, and asset sales, we're projecting 382 billion, 481 million, 387,908 naira, 60 kobo, giving us a grand total of 1.8 as projected. Recurrent expenditure. Mr. Speaker, we're looking at the projection of 413 billion, 109 million, 396,705 naira, 70 kobo, allocated for recurrent expenditure. The breakdown is as follows. We're looking at salary, 154.7 billion. We're looking at new recruitments at 15.2 billion. We're looking at consolidated revenue for fund charges. We're looking at 772 million. Overhead for MDAs, because of the cost of running costs, we're looking at 36.7 billion. Grants, contribution, and subsidies, we're looking at 9.7 billion. Gratuity, we're projecting about 20 billion. Death benefit, we're looking at 7 billion. Monthly pension allowance, 55 billion. Employee Compensation Act, we're looking at 4 billion. Legacy pension gratuity, we're looking at 20 billion. Group life insurance, we're looking at 5 billion. Interest on domestic loan, we're looking at 28.2 billion. Interest on foreign loan, we're looking at 6.4 billion. Short-term domestic loan principal repayment, 3.8 billion. Long-term domestic loan principal repayment, 30.4 billion. Foreign loan principal repayment, we're looking at 15.7. If we sum all this, it gives us 413.1 billion as recurrent expenditure. Mr. Speaker, may I wish to note that we have proposed at least a 50% increase in overhead expenditure to be enacted immediately once the budget becomes law, to enable MDAs to cover the operational costs. We have also made sufficient arrangements to clear backlog of gratuity and pension owed to our civil servants. Capital expenditure. We are projecting the sum of 1.4 billion, or let me take it in the long figure, 1,405,270,817,869 naira 36 kobo. These are the breakdown. Administration, the projection is 278.7 billion. Economic, we're looking at 625 67.8 billion. Law and justice, 65.2 billion. Social, we're looking at 435.4 billion, making a grand total of 1.4 trillion. The highlight of the capital expenditure as follows. Works and infrastructure, we're looking at 533.2 billion. Educational development, we're looking at 315 billion. Healthcare delivery, 105.4 billion. River State House of Assembly, because we have a lot of work to do there, 41.4 billion. River State Judiciary, 30 billion. Agriculture, 19.2 billion. Power, 15 billion. Chieftaincy and community development, 8.5 billion. Sports, 7.9 billion. Youth, 7 billion. Women affairs, 6.5 billion. Environment and sustainable development, 6.6 billion. Mr. Speaker, in addition to align with the fiscal reality, the 2026 budget priorities are core objectives for building a secure, prosperous, and resilient state characterized by inclusive economic growth, sustainable development, and improved standard of living for all. Consequently, our primary priorities in the 2026 fiscal year include economic growth, human capital development, social economic infrastructure, and social investment. Mr. Speaker, we present to this Honorable House a budget that reflects the need, the aspiration of our people, a budget that will deliver for all residents of our dear states. Mr. Speaker, the 2026 budget is not just allocating funds to specific social economic sector. Instead, it is a people-centered budget that acts as a blueprint for progress and service delivery, outlining a vision of a better future. It will bring tangible benefits to every ward, local government area, and resident. We will ensure every kobo is spent wisely to deliver service, attract investment, create jobs, provide opportunities for our dear people to flourish. Mr. Speaker, the collective interests of our states and people are more important than any other consideration. I therefore, as we present this budget today, we must recognize our shared responsibilities to act deliberately to accelerate development and cover as much lost grounds as possible. Let us therefore join hands, unite in purpose to ensure River States continue to stand out for good governance and progressive states. In conclusion, although we acknowledge the delay in preparing the budget, we assure a strong implementation consistent with our commitment to accountability, transparency, and responsible management of public funds. I urge all honorable members, regardless of political affiliation, to support and approve this budget. I hereby table the River State's budget for 2026 fiscal year for consideration and enactment.